Pass them down.
Bring the December 12th, 2016 public meeting of the Fayette County Area Planning Commission to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bev, would you take attendance, please?
Good, better, the good.
Brian Jennings,
Here.
Time will tell.
Leo King,
November. Attendance.
Present. Mark Flub,
Present.
Chad Frank, Warren Sudoff,
Present.
Carl Hilton, Ed Harrell,
Here.
Jason Wyman,
Here.
Dick O'Neill,
Present.
and Bill McDaniel,
Present.
and myself.
Okay. Do you have a quorum? Okay, first,
Let's go make this first order of business.
yeah, first order of business, I'm gonna let, Bill explain this a little bit.
Okay, this last week, I think as most of us are probably anticipating, I did actually receive John's official resignation as the Area Plan Commission attorney due to his health. And I previously had a conversation, so Mr. Judd here, who works in the office, is graciously, whether consented or forced into doing this, I do not know, but I thank you nonetheless. An opportunity to learn about an arcane part of Indiana law.
Yes.
And Mr. Judd, I know you've met some of the individuals.
Yeah, I've met some of them.
Okay. But, so I think the first thing that we'll want to do is for the remainder of the term, so that Mr. Judd can be our attorney this evening, is to, at least for the rest of this year, appoint him as the attorney, the Area Plan Commission attorney, and then in January, it'll be then the full year appointment.
Okay, so this is for the remainder of this year only at this point, the appointment.
I move that we have Mr. Judd be our attorney for the rest of the term.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of Mr. Judd being the attorney for the remainder of this term, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Welcome aboard, Mr. Judd.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from the November 14th, 2016 area planning meeting. Bill has handed out those minutes. Any discussion?
I move to accept as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. Those in favor of approving the minutes for November 14th, 2016, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, those minutes are approved. Next are the minutes for the September 14th, 2015 public meeting that was held at Connersville's Property Wise. I think that's.
No,
That was here.
It was here.
That-
That is
that
correct.
was here,
That one
yes.
was here.
this is the one for Mrs. Reeve Summers.
That is correct.
Occupation.
Okay. I will entertain a motion on that.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll second that.
and a second to approve. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes of the September 14th, 2015 meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Those minutes are approved.
No,
Bill, next up, the expiring appointments to the area plan.
okay, now, with the Area Plan Commission, out of the citizen appointments, the only expiring position is Mr. Harrell, who's appointed by the county council. And Mr. Harrell, if you are either interested or no longer interested in serving as a plan commission, if you could, as soon as you possibly can, contact the county council. Probably the best one to contact is Mr. Wenta with your intention and desires.
All right.
And if you decide to come back, you are always more than welcome. You've always been a great help to me. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, BZA. Okay, the BZA appointment that's expiring, the citizen appointment is going to be Ms. Steele, and she's the county commissioner's representative on the Board of Zoning Appeals. And once again, Carrie, you let the commissioners know, actually let Leota know, if you know that after this evening. Once again, you're always very helpful to me with this, and you always give a lot of thought to everything, and I appreciate that. And that's, you have no idea how much I appreciate when people give things a lot of thought. And of course, then Mr. Harrell as the annual appointment to the BZA. And then as far as the county council, Mr. Flum's appointment is going to expire with his leaving the county council at the end of this year. Okay, Mr. Sudoff, which is an annual appointment, and then also Mr. Jennings, which is an annual appointment. And within the next week, well, before the end of the year, my letters are going to go out to the appointing bodies. That's it.
Any questions for Bill on this? All right. No public hearings tonight, so the next thing on our agenda is the sign regulation discussion.
If there's any thoughts anyone has, or as Mr. Judge, you've had the opportunity to go through those, so some of your initial observations.
Well, I did have a chance to run through it today before coming to the meeting, and I had read a little bit about it before, and it looks like on the draft you have
Two more.
taken out all, I don't want to say, content-based regulations, and that's what we need to do. And if you have any specific questions or concerns, I would like them brought to my attention so I can do deeper research into it, and that goes for anybody here. Because reading it through it is one thing, but if somebody points out something to me directly, it's much easier for me to attack it from that perspective.
Yes.
So, just want to make that known.
So if you wish to send me an email with something, also with to Mr. Judd, and use the same email address, which was Tessa in the other office. So you can also email the same comments also to Mr. Judd.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the issues related to the off-premise versus on-premise signs, which is the big one. It looks like you're probably still safe for a while with differentiating between commercial versus non-commercial. But looks like there was within this last year, since we began this process, there was the initial belief that you'd be able to differentiate between on-premise, off-premise. There's a very strong disagreement in a court case in one of the federal courts, I forget which one. So it looks like the off-premise versus on-premise is probably going to be the next part of sign regulations that are going to be up in front of the Supreme Court. And which is one of the reasons I've tried to then consider those just as another type of freestanding sign, was try to get ahead of the curve on that. And it seems as though might not be that far from the curve on that. So then it's treating them like the freestanding sign with all the other dimensions, time, place, placement, all of those in place also to deal with the off-premise signs. And is there anything else that, with just your quick review,
No,
seems
not
probably
off the top.
critical that we need to think about?
No, I was pretty pleased to see all the content-based regulation taken out, which is the main.
Mhm.
That's what the case is all about, is the content. So you're doing that.
Yeah.
So,
And one of the things attempting to do as far as with for example, some of you probably noticed the change within looking at the square footage and the amount of signs is really is dependent upon distance from the road, because, the farther back it is, really the more you need is the signs. And when I looked at trying to determine, what type of formula to actually use as far as for the shopping centers or the multi-tenant centers, is what I was thinking ended up pretty close along the lines once I actually stepped off and measured off all the signs at Kroger's. So what I was already thinking, the direction I'm trying to approach, is kind of meshed pretty well with that, what was already there. So I felt positive about sort of that type of level of reinforcement.
Anything else? Anybody from the board have any comments, suggestions to do? Okay. That takes us to the director's report. Everyone have a chance to review?
I move to accept as presented.
We have a motion to accept. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, with that, all in favor of accepting the director's report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Director's report is accepted.
All right. Oh, I do have one thing to let people know, is that for the holiday season, the county offices are going to be closed for holidays on the Friday, it's the December 23rd. Okay, Monday, December 22nd, and then also Monday, January 2nd for New Year's.
Monday, January 26th.
26.
Monday, 26th, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 26th, and then for New Year's on the 2nd of January. Now, I will, need to take some, days off because with family visiting. So I will also additionally be out of the office on Thursday, the
22nd?
22nd, yes. And then also on Tuesday, the 27th, that's the day I take my brother back to the airport.
Okay.
So, and I know I have one gentleman I need to contact to make sure we may have at least one variance for the BZA in January. I need to contact this gentleman so that he can, by the end of this week, first part of tomorrow, he can go ahead and get the information in so I can take care of all that. So then my limited period time frame, I'll be around over the holidays. I can make sure that I'm able to take care of all that and then get everything sent in, posted, and meet all of our legal obligations.
Anything else from members of the board?
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Ed seconded. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Welcome to the December meeting of the Fayette County Board of Zoning Appeals. If you'd all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call, please.
Carrie Steele?
Here.
Kenny Burgess?
Here.
Bill Crawford?
Here.
Ed Harrell?
Here.
Jason Waterman?
Here.
Bill McDaniel?
Present.
And myself.
Okay. First item of business, Mr. Baker, our attorney, tendered his resignation, and so we need to hire a new attorney for the duration of this term, which is December. So, Mr. Judd here, was willing to serve for the APC, but, we need to hire somebody for the rest of the term, so I leave it up to the board to make a nomination and the second, and we can vote.
I nominate Mr. Judd to be the BZA's attorney for December.
I'll second that.
Alright. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It's a very lengthy hire process.
Yes, yes. I like it.
Oh,
Grueling.
wait until January for the railroads.
Yeah, yeah. Next item of business is approval of minutes. We'll start with the minutes from our meeting last month, November 14th, 2016, which you all should have.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. Then we move on to our minutes from our meeting of September 14th, 2015. This has been a long time coming. It's been a relatively tedious process, but they're here now, so we need a motion or amendments and whatever, and then a second.
I move to approve them as presented.
Okay. We have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Next item on the agenda is our appointments that are expiring.
Okay, as mentioned at the previous meeting with the zoning board appointments that are expiring are Ms. Steele, county commission appointment. Hopefully you will see fit to join us for another fun 4 years. And Mr. Harrells as the annual appointment of an APC member to the BZA.
Okay. Moving on, public hearings, there are none for tonight. And then the director's report, which you all should have received. Any questions for Bill or a motion to approve?
We move to approve the director's report as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. Any other items of business for tonight?
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.